Oh, Canada, baby. Look, before we get all pissed off at LEGO here for making this video at 1:30 a.m. in the morning, I just gotta say, I did watch the game. I was out and about, watching the game externally when I saw the golden goal get scored, or are we even gonna call it the golden goal? It was a championship-winning goal, not a golden goal necessarily. There were no medals here in the Four Nations face-off. But whatever, the golden goal. It's a great way to put it, but I was out and about in public with some very lovely people when I saw the golden goal go in. Connor McDavid, alone in front, scores and gets Canada the victory. Yet another best-on-best victoire for the red and white Maple Leaf. You know, I get that true best-on-best would not technically be accomplishable, or you wouldn't be able to do that with this tournament because of the fact that there was no Russia, but come on. You can't go out there and diminish the value, the excitement, what this tournament has done for the sport of hockey in 2025. A best-on-best hockey game between the best American players and the best Canadian players ends up in a Team Canada victory. Where have we seen that before? 2016 World Cup of Hockey, 2014 Olympics, 2010 Olympics. Lots and lots of best-on-best hockey has been won and conquered by Canada. And I get it, we could have made this video easily about the Americans had things just gone a little bit differently. Had Team USA actually gotten the too-many-men power play in overtime. Had the team with more shots in overtime got themselves the dub. Had Jordan Binnington not stopped Austin Matthews right in front, point blank, on a doorstep opportunity gifted to Matthews on a silver platter. Hockey's a game of inches after all. And where Austin Matthews falters in front, one-on-one against a goalie with the shot, Connor McDavid gets that same opportunity and gets the laser beam top corner on the best goaltender in the world in Connor Hellebuyck. Big shout out to Austin Matthews for double-teaming Mitch Marner in the corner instead of going for McDavid, who was right there all alone in the slot by himself, point blank against the goalie, who gets the pass, who scores the goal, and who gives Canada their fourth straight best-on-best victory. The other tournaments, 2018 Olympics, 2022 Olympics, the numerous World Championship runs sprinkled in between there. None of these tournaments were ever best on best. The NHL would not send the best of the best to these tournaments, and it shows, because you have a lot of variance. And not to diminish the wins by teams like Germany or Finland over the past few years in these tournaments, that's great. You know, it's a fantastic story to see teams like Latvia go out there and medal at World Championship tournaments, but best on best. There's a certain charm to that, and I think this tournament's purpose, there's a lot of people that would have gone out there and said, oh yeah, it's like just the all-star replacement, right? Players are gonna not treat this as seriously as their regular league games. We have seen the all-star break and what these players like to do during the all-star game. They're all hungover and they don't back-check, they just lollygag and pull out all their fancy tricks, and it's a really weird experience. But I think from the opening puck drop of the Four Nations, we kind of recognize that, hey, not only is this a lightning-in-a-bottle scenario for the NHL because of the eyes being placed on the product here, especially when you compare it to their competition in the NBA, but a lot of these players took this tournament very seriously. And a lot of it has to do with pride. A lot of it has to do with the fact that, hey, it's a best-on-best situation, which we haven't seen since the 2016 World Cup of Hockey. It's been 9 years since the best team of Canadian hockey players was assembled to play off against the best team of Swedes and the best team of Americans. Sure, no Russia, but still, Four Nations is better than no nations where all the best players are actually assembled. No disrespect, of course, to the Olympic athletes from Russia, like we saw the OAR team that won the 2018 Pyeongchang Olympic gold medal for men's ice hockey. But best on best, these players, they knew, and they stepped up to the plate. And with all the conversations that you could have about, hey, are these players going to be allowed to play their best? Like, Do GMs feel comfortable sending their players to a tournament like this where they could get injured, a la Shea Theodore, a la Charlie McAvoy, and there's an illness, a flu bug going around in the room? Is that seriously something that NHL teams would be comfortable with? The answer is probably not. Like, you're not encouraging your players to go out there and get hurt. But at the same time, you have to owe it to the players, like, hey, you're one of the best players in the world. You're selected for Team USA. Go out there and show them why you were accepted onto the team. Play in such a way that validates their decision to choose you over some of the other guys. There's a level of pride in that. And these players, of course, donning the red, white, and blue star-striped sweater, donning the red and white Maple Leaf sweater. These guys know what kind of an implication that had, and they let that flow all the way through the entire game. And sure, you can talk about the injuries, you can talk about the absences from this final game. No Quinn Hughes, no Matthew Tkachuk, other guys on Team Canada not at 100%, Jordan Binnington having an up and down season so far, and the tournament especially. You can go over Sidney Crosby and whether or not he was playing his best, despite the fact that he had multiple points. He was over a point per game in this entire tournament. But I think the purpose of this tournament to serve as kind of a preliminary hype video for the 2026 Winter Olympics in Italy, oh boy, this is going to be crazy. And we know, okay, we don't know, but like last time there was an Olympic Russia committee, right? And then there were the Olympic athletes from Russia too. So there probably will be a Russian squad in the 2026 Olympics, right? Is that gonna happen? I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess we'll figure it out in a year. But still, I want to see what Team Germany looks like. They're not gonna beat Team Canada, I don't think. I mean, anything's possible with Moritz Seider and Leon Draisaitl on the same team, but there are some guys that are going to be interesting. Lucas Reichel, JJ Peterka, other guys that could make a really interesting impact when given that stage. I want to see Team Latvia and Artur Shilovs potentially do some damage in this upcoming Olympic tournament, if they're even in it. I'm not sure what the qualification process is. There are only a number of teams that are allowed to play after all. If you give it another year, is Luke Hughes good enough to crack Team USA in 2026 to play with Jack Hughes, who is going to be on the team, and Quinn Hughes too, who is definitely going to be on that team? Will Sidney Crosby have one more go in him to find himself as the Team Canada captain in the 2026 Olympics? He scored the golden goal in 2010, and Connor McDavid takes the reins and scores the championship Four Nations goal in 2025. 15 years later. Ridiculous. Oh, Canada, baby. They gone out there and done it. And this ultimately serves as a very, very good reminder that best on best hockey is something that we probably should not have let go of in a very long time. Sorry, we're not jumping around and screaming around the room in this video, but it's been multiple hours since the game ended. I think we can calm it down a little bit, but still, acknowledge how great this game and this tournament was. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.